What if I told you the most impactful inventions in history aren't the ones you think of first? Beyond the light bulb and the wheel, countless unsung innovations have quietly shaped our civilization. Get ready to discover the forgotten genius that built our world, one groundbreaking yet anonymous idea at a time. History loves a good headline. We celebrate names like Edison, Bell, and Ford, visionaries whose inventions are household names. But what about the innovations that have no single author? The ideas that evolved over centuries, passed down and perfected, becoming so fundamental to our lives that we barely even notice them. This is the story of those innovations, the silent revolutions that happened not in a flashy lab, but in fields, kitchens, and workshops around the globe. Let's start with something you probably touched today: the button. It seems so simple, a small disc and a hole. But for centuries, clothing was held together with pins, brooches, or simple ties. Functional, yes, but often cumbersome and not always secure. The button and buttonhole system, which emerged in 13th century Germany, was a game changer. Suddenly, garments could be tailored to fit the body more closely, offering better protection from the elements and paving the way for fashion as a form of self-expression. It was a revolution in textiles that allowed for more complex and functional clothing, from a soldier's uniform to a noble's elaborate gown. It wasn't invented by one person. It was an evolution, a quiet yet profound shift in how humanity dressed itself. Now, let's journey further back, to the very foundation of civilization itself. We talk about the agricultural revolution, the shift from hunting and gathering to farming. But how did early farmers manage their land and their yields? The unsung hero here is the humble plow. The earliest versions, simple sticks used to break the soil, were revolutionary. But the real leap forward was the moldboard plow, developed in China and later adopted in Europe. This wasn't just about digging a furrow. Its curved blade turned the soil over, burying weeds and bringing nutrient-rich earth to the surface. This dramatically increased crop yields, allowing for food surpluses that supported growing populations, the rise of cities, and the specialization of labor. Without the steady improvement of the plow, the grand empires of history might never have existed. It's the engine that literally fed civilization. Think about how we build our world. We see skyscrapers and bridges as marvels of modern engineering. But what holds them together? Let's talk about concrete. The Romans are famous for their concrete, creating structures like the Pantheon and the Colosseum that have stood for 2 millennia. But their recipe, using volcanic ash called pozzolana, was lost to time after the fall of the empire. For over 1,000 years, builders relied on weaker mortars. It wasn't until the 18th century that innovators like John Smeaton, while rebuilding a lighthouse, began experimenting again. This led to the development of modern Portland cement in the 19th century, a material that could be mass-produced and was incredibly strong and versatile. This rediscovery and refinement of concrete is the unsung backbone of our modern infrastructure. Every dam, highway, and high-rise owes its existence to this remarkable yet often overlooked material. Let's move from the physical to the conceptual. How do we even run our global economy? We owe a huge debt to an invention from medieval Italy: double-entry bookkeeping. Before this system, merchants kept simple, often chaotic records of what they bought and sold. It was easy to make mistakes and even easier to commit fraud. But with double entry, every transaction is recorded in 2 places, as a debit in one account and a credit in another. The books must always balance. This simple, elegant idea brought order and accountability to commerce. It allowed merchants to track their profits and losses accurately, secure loans, and build vast trading networks. It's the invisible software that powered the Renaissance and laid the groundwork for modern capitalism. Every financial statement, every corporate report is a direct descendant of this quiet but brilliant accounting innovation. And what about our health? We credit figures like Pasteur for germ theory, but what about the simple act of sanitation? For most of human history, cities were incredibly unsanitary places, leading to the rapid spread of devastating diseases. The invention of the sewer system was perhaps one of the greatest public health innovations of all time. Ancient civilizations like the Minoans and Romans had rudimentary systems, but the modern, comprehensive sewer networks we rely on today were a product of the 19th century. Faced with cholera outbreaks in rapidly growing industrial cities like London, engineers like Joseph Bazalgette designed massive underground networks to carry waste away from populated areas. This single innovation probably saved more lives than any single medicine. It broke the cycle of disease and transformed the city from a death trap into a place where humanity could thrive. Let's consider one more: the humble nail. Before the mass production of cheap, reliable nails, construction was a far more laborious process. Woodworking relied on complex joinery, pegs, or tying things together. The invention of machines that could quickly cut and form nails from iron wire in the late 18th and early 19th centuries was a construction boom in a box. Suddenly, building a house, a fence, or a piece of furniture became faster, cheaper, and more accessible to the average person. This seemingly minor invention fueled westward expansion in America, allowing settlers to build homes and towns with unprecedented speed. The world we see today, quite literally, is held together by trillions of these tiny, uncelebrated pieces of metal. From the button on your shirt, to the cement under your feet, to the accounting principles that run our economies, our world is built on a foundation of unsung innovations. These inventions don't have famous founders or dramatic origin stories. They are the product of countless minds across countless generations, all contributing a small piece to a greater puzzle. They are the quiet, steady engines of human progress, working so perfectly in the background that we've forgotten they were ever invented at all. They remind us that genius isn't always loud. Sometimes, the most revolutionary ideas are the ones that seamlessly become part of our everyday lives. So next time you button your coat or walk on a sidewalk, take a moment to appreciate the hidden history behind it. The story of humanity isn't just about the celebrated few. It's about the collective, anonymous genius that has been shaping our world all along. Thanks for joining us on this journey through history's forgotten breakthroughs. If you enjoyed uncovering these hidden stories, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the world around us. Let us know in the comments which unsung innovation you think is the most important. We'll see you next time.